Geographically, the seventh largest country in the world. One of the oldest civilization. World's sixth largest economy. A global hub for innovation with one of the largest startup ecosystem. India. City of Mumbai on the western coast of Arabian Sea, among the most advanced and modern metropolises in the world, and the financial capital of India, gears up to host the most prestigious accountancy event of the world, 21st World Congress of Accountants from 18th to 21st November 2022, an event held every 4 years. The Olympic of Accountancy Profession. India hosts the event for the first time in 118 years since the WCOA came into being in 1904. Around 10,000 delegates expected to join virtually. More than 6,000 delegates from over 135 countries would congregate to exchange views at the world's most advanced Geo World Convention Center. The theme, Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability, will inspire the future of accountancy profession to create sustainable economies for the future.
The ICAI is honored to be the host for this mega event, which will bring together the world's largest conglomeration of professional accountants, regulators, leaders, and visionaries to advance the cause of the global accountancy profession. Now, with the ease of travel restrictions across the world and the situation returning to normal, we are working towards creating a never before and a unique experience for all our delegates. The year 2022 marks the 75th year of India's independence, and the Government of India is celebrating the year in a big way to showcase the glorious history of India. World Congress of Accountants 2022 would also be celebrated as a mega event to showcase the important role that the accountancy profession has been playing in the economic and social development of the country.
A never before witnessed unique experience of learning future trends, emerging avenues, enhancing skill sets, networking, and to explore the incredible India awaits you.
We at ICAI are pleased to host you here in Mumbai, the financial capital of India, for the 21st World Congress of Accountants with the theme Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability from November 18 to 21, 2022, and give you a professionally enriching and personally rejuvenating experience. We are hopeful that the conference shall be stimulating and productive, and your stay in India will be a memorable experience. Once again, we invite you for this enthralling convergence in India, the land of multicultural, historical, and spiritual inheritance since centuries.
Insights from the stalwarts of the profession, international and national standard setters, regulators, and trendsetters will constitute the panel of speakers at WCOA 2022. Let your dream get bigger. Come, be a part of this mega celebration. For registration and sponsorship opportunities, contact. Organized by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India under the aegis of IFAC.
A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I extend a warm welcome to all the viewers of the live webinar on Innovative Financing Strategies for Urban Local Bodies, being organized by Committee on Public and Government Financial Management of ICAI. ICAI, as a partner in nation building, is making significant efforts to prescribe and support in implementation of high quality accrual accounting. A very good morning to all local bodies. On behalf of the accounting standards for local bodies, India, that is I extend a warm welcome to all the viewers of the live webinar on for application by governments of all urban local bodies, being organized by local bodies to provide financial management information and financial statements to the investors. As a partner in nation building, for the ease of various stakeholders and efforts, the committee has also issued publication of accounting standards for local bodies at a glance, which covers ASLBs in simple language to enhance their outreach amongst prospective users and concerned authorities. This year, we also came out with a guidance note on accounting for investments for local bodies to provide guidance on accounting for investments, including their presentation and disclosures in financial statements. Our certificate course on public finance and government accounting has been noticed by the policymakers and state governments, and they have started including it as criteria and assignment allocation. Presently, we are running 19th batch of the certificate course. We have also introduced online self-paced course on public finance and government accounting on DLH platform, consisting of video recordings of certificate course lectures that may be watched anytime and anywhere. There is no fees for self-paced course for ICAI members. Now I would like to invite CA Kemisha Soni, Central Council member ICAI, to set out the tone of the webinar. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce CA Kemisha Soni. Currently, she is serving as Chairperson, Committee on Public and Government Financial Management and Professional Development Committee of ICAI. She is also serving as Vice Chairperson of Ethical Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. CA Kemisha Soni is Independent Director of Ujjain Smart City Limited and nominated member Madhya Pradesh Cooperatives Audit Board. She is Technical Advisor, International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants, New York. She is also nominated member for Committee on Governmental and Public Sector Enterprises, Accounting for South Asian Federation of Accountants for the year 22-23. CA Kemisha Soni is serving a third-tier consecutive term in Central Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Being an outstanding professional and a committed member of the Council, she has been nominated as member to distinguished international forums for accounting professionals, such as SAFA Committee of SAARC countries on professional ethics and independence in small and medium practice for 2 years in a row, from 2016 to 2018, and again in the year 2019 to 2020. Having remarkable leadership skills, she has many firsts to her credit, such as distinction of being the first woman chairperson of Indore branch of CIRC of ICAI in 2008-2009, subsequently the first woman chairperson of CIRC in the year 2010-11, and first woman chairperson of Board of Studies of ICAI in 2019-20. During her tenure as chairperson in Indore branch, she bagged the award for the Best Branch Award for CIRC and received the award for Highly Commendable Region.
Thank you, Office. No need of detailed introduction.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, I extend a very warm welcome to all the viewers of the webinar on Innovating Financing Strategies for Urban Local Bodies, being organized by the Committee on Public and Government Financial Management under the theme Atmanirbhar Bharat of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And first, I am thankful to C.S. Santosh Muchalji, our esteemed speaker, who has agreed to spare his invaluable knowledge and experience with us as faculty of the webinar on this topic. So, dear viewers, you all are aware that India is growing at a fast pace. Urbanization is increasing rapidly, which is in turn changing the profile of cities and towns and increasing demand for urban infrastructure in India. So, about this theme of webinar, The Indian Federation is a 3-tier structure comprising of central government at the top, state and union territories in the second tier, and local self-government or ULB in the third tier. So all these tiers provide for infrastructure within the realm of the article or constitution of India. So just I would like to mention about that reference related to that. The Constitution 74th Amendment Act 1002 officially recognized urban local bodies as the third tier of government and recommended that state government assign to urban local bodies a set of 18 legitimate municipal functions such as town planning, regulation of land use, construction of buildings, roads and bridges, etc. So for that specifically urban local bodies play a crucial role in the delivery of social and economic services such as power, irrigation, transport in urban areas. So here I would also like to mention about certain specifically related to structure, that financial requirement in that particular areas. So recognizing the enormous financing requirement of urban infrastructure, the government of India has launched a few initiatives in recent years for funding and facilitating market engagement in infrastructure. Promotion of public-private partnership, PPP, was one of the objectives of the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. And another initiative was the Pooled Finance Department Fund, PFDF, which aims to catalyze the municipal bond markets for the ULB sector. So recent initiative regarding that will share an update by our esteemed speaker also. So definitely general policy related area here, I would like to mention that he using public private partnership for ULBs funding. Second one is related to municipal bonds, regulatory framework for municipal bond market in India. Third one, term loans versus municipal bonds, pooled financing, raising fund through urban infrastructure fund, established a municipal development fund, or somewhere implementing a treasury single account, viability gap funding. So which shall be discussed in detail during the webinar by our eminent faculty, C.A. Santosh Muchalji. And I am grateful to him for readily accepting our invitation to share his experience with us, because he has experience in this area. So I hope that you all would be benefited from the deliberation of the live webinar. I once again wholeheartedly welcome all the participants of this webinar who are learning online through this webinar, and hope that the enriched deliberation will widen your understanding on the subject. And specifically for our chartered accountant, this is also good area in sense of new professional opportunity in the area of consultancy related to urban local bodies. So wish you all very happy learning, and again over to our office.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now let me introduce today's faculty, C.A. Santosh Muchal. C.A. Santosh Muchal has been practicing the profession since 1988. With an experience ranging over 30 years, he has handled various assignments during his professional career, which include statutory audits, advisory and consulting issuance of equity and bonds, taxation, bank branch audits, insurance audits, financial planning, debt structuring and syndication, and company law matters. Apart from advising clients, he is an active member of Tax Practitioner Association. He is an immediate past president of Indore Management Association and a past council member of All India Management Association. He is also serving as an independent director on boards of various companies such as Infobeats Technologies, Shriji Polymers, Pitapur Auto Cluster, Eternus Solution, advising them on various taxation matters. He is also the president of RPL Maheshwari College, Indore, which has a strength of around 4,500 students. He has been recognized by various reputed organizations such as the Luminaries by Dainik Bhaskar and Entrepreneur of the Year by Times of India. He is also
Namaskar. Special thanks to Kemisha ji for showing confidence into me, and thanks to the entire team, back office team at Institute office. I am proud member of CA Institute. That's one of the best achievement in the life. And under the capable leadership from Indore like Kemisha ji, the institute is achieving a greater and greater height on every day. It's a matter of great proud for us. The subject chosen by the team today regarding this innovative financing strategies for urban local bodies and is an important subject and need of the hour to understand by all our members. Since last 5-6 years, our institute is regularly organizing this type of topics, and I am fortunate and privileged that this is the third time I am participating in the institute's program on this given subject. Barring 2 years which went into Corona, where also the urban local bodies played an important role, I wish to start my presentation with a very innovative video which I usually played whenever I give lecture on this innovative financing strategies by urban local bodies, because first we need to understand in past 5 years only, 5 or 6 years only, there is a buzz about ULB. Before that, hardly nobody was knowing what ULB is. ULB was not at the map of India. Nobody was talking about ULB. But it is 2014 when this Modi ji's led government came into the picture. And what they start about talking about Swachh Bharat mission. I would like to play a video of Modi ji which will speak importance about ULBs. 1 minute.
एक 150 वर्ष हो रहे हैं महात्मा गांधी को। 2019 में महात्मा गांधी की 150वीं जयंती आ रही है। महात्मा गांधी ने हमें आजादी दी। हमने महात्मा गांधी को क्या दिया? मुझे बताइए, ये सवाल हमें हर हिंदुस्तानी अपने आप को पूछना चाहिए कि नहीं पूछना चाहिए? जिस गांधी ने हमको आजादी दी, उस गांधी को हमने क्या दिया? कभी गांधी मिल जाएंगे जब पूछेंगे तो जवाब तो दे पाएंगे क्या? और इसलिए 2019 में महात्मा गांधी के 150 हो, तब पूरा भारत ये संकल्प करे, हम महात्मा गांधी को जो सबसे प्रिय जो चीजें थी, एक उनको प्रिय था हिंदुस्तान की आजादी, और दूसरा उनको प्रिय था सफाई। गांधी जी स्वच्छता में एक
Now it's audible?
150 वर्ष हो रहे हैं महात्मा गांधी को। 2019 में महात्मा गांधी की 150वीं जयंती आ रही है। महात्मा गांधी ने हमें आजादी दी। हमने महात्मा गांधी को क्या दिया? मुझे बताइए, ये सवाल हमें हर हिंदुस्तानी अपने आप को पूछना चाहिए कि नहीं पूछना चाहिए? जिस गांधी ने हमको आजादी दी, उस गांधी को हमने क्या दिया? कभी गांधी मिल जाएंगे जब पूछेंगे तो जवाब तो दे पाएंगे क्या? और इसलिए 2019 में जब महात्मा गांधी के 150 हो, तब पूरा भारत ये संकल्प करे, हम महात्मा गांधी को जो सबसे प्रिय जो चीजें थी, एक उनको प्रिय था हिंदुस्तान की आजादी, और दूसरा उनको प्रिय था सफाई। गांधी जी स्वच्छता में कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करते थे, कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करते, बड़े अड़िग रहते थे। गांधी जी ने हमें आजादी दिलाई, भारत मां को गुलामी की जंजीरों से मुक्त किया। क्या भारत मां को गंदगी से मुक्त करना है हमारी जिम्मेवारी है कि नहीं? क्या हम 2019 में जब गांधी की 150वीं जयंती आए तब महात्मा गांधी के चरणों में स्वच्छ साफ सुथरा हिंदुस्तान के चरणों में दे सकते हैं कि नहीं दे सकते? जिस महापुरुष ने हमें आजादी दी उस महापुरुष को हमें दे सकते हैं कि नहीं दे सकते? देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए? ये जिम्मेवारी उठानी चाहिए कि नहीं उठानी चाहिए? अगर एक बार 125 करोड़ देशवासी तय कर ले कि मैं गांधी नहीं करूंगा तो दुनिया की कोई ताकत नहीं।
So, what is the purpose of playing this video of Modi ji in this seminar? This is very interesting to understand that after 2014 only, when on the 2nd October 2014, Honorable Prime Minister launched Swachh Bharat Mission, and he said a clean India would be the best tribute India could pay to Mahatma Gandhi on his 150th birth anniversary in 2019. So friends, on behalf of whom Modi ji gave this promise to make the India cleanest country, I believe none other than Municipal Corporation ULBs can complete this task as mentioned by Modi ji. And when we talk about the cleanness of the city, cleanness of the country, it's not about cleanness. It's about each and every system, ecosystem around us.
जो हिंदुस्तान को गंदा कर सकती।
So if you see this slide where I showed that if it is a pyramid, central government is the top, state government is in between, and urban local bodies is directly connected with 140 crore public at large. Puri Hindustan ki each and every citizen of India is directly connected with only one entity, that is none other than ULB. It's very difficult for a common citizen to reach state government functionary. It is very difficult to reach at the central government functionary for a common people. But urban local body is an entity where each and every citizen required to go for his day-to-day basis requirement. His life is directly connected with the local entities, local ULBs. Therefore, first time we got understand that ULB is also a functionary, and our maximum support level required in day-to-day is being provided to municipal corporations. They have become of so importance. And after 2014 only, we start talking about ULBs. All of a sudden, I went towards the function of ULBs, where everybody is now talking about how ULBs are functioning, accounting system of ULBs, financing requirement of the ULBs, because it's directly connecting with the common people of India. And when we talk about this Swachh Bharat mission, we talk about cleanest city of India. This is the only and only urban local bodies which plays an important role entirely. So, hope I am able to make you understand that now ULB has become the most important functionaries across the country. We all are aware that our day-to-day needs like water supply, sewer management, stormwater, city infrastructure, public services. What is the issue here? Why it's looking like this? Sorry friends, 1 minute for the inconvenience. I think some technical issues there. अब आ रहा है? So it's about the basic function of a ULB. You all are aware about this public recreation, garbage collection, public services, etc., to be done by municipal corporations. And so to meet out these obligations, there are sources of revenue for the ULBs like local taxes, like property tax, water user charges, betterment charges, advertisement tax. Here I will like to share you with the betterment charges, concept of betterment charges, which is a new concept in taxation. Betterment charges is a charge. I will give live example of Indore, where the ULB is developing 3-4 major roads, and both the side of the road up to half a kilometer, government ULB has levied one-time betterment charges, because to meet out the infrastructure cost of those roads, the amount will be recovered from the inhabitants of both the side of the road, because it is being believed that by the development of this road, the valuation of this property is up. Therefore, they are bound to give certain contributions toward the betterment charges. So this is the new concept. Assigned revenues like octroi compensation, stamp duty, passenger tax. ULBs have their own rental income also from markets, community hall, etc. But this is insignificant. License fees, building permission, door-to-door collection like user charges, sale of compass, tender documents, sale of scrap, etc. Various grants from central and state governments, central government especially under the Finance Commission, and one new concept which is now very popular is monetization. The source of revenue has become now monetization has become a very popular source of revenue. 2050, 6 billion people, that is 2/3 of the world's humanity, will be living in town and cities. This poverty from urban rural is shifting very fast to the global to the urban poverty. हम देख रहे हैं कि गांव की जितना भी लोग हैं, they are coming very rapidly to the cities and making the urban life very complex by way of fulfilling their requirement. To meet out these all obligations, we cannot stop people to come into cities. It's although government is trying their best to develop the same infrastructure in the rural area also, but still the peoples are coming for the so many reasons, for the employment, so for the education, for the health, so many reasons. Still the rural population is coming fast to the urban cities, and therefore it's become more important for the urban cities to provide them the same type of lifestyle, good lifestyle, to provide them the health, to provide them the drinking water, to provide them the sewage, etc. So there is a huge need of the finance requirement by the municipal corporation, and the funds available by the local government is not sufficient to fulfill these requirements. And recently, the central government supporting by way of Amrit and Smart City Mission is again showing the need of the municipal finance by all the ULBs across the country. Now time has come when we should think beyond this normal funding arrangements through central government, state governments and their own revenue. We can define own revenue, grant from central government, loan from banks and financial institutions, monetization, bond issue and VGF support for the purpose of this financial requirement. Friends, if you go through the 14th Finance Commission recommendations, it is clearly mentioned in that in India, the market of municipal bond is insignificant and the municipal bonds have played a limited role as a source of finance for funding and for urban infrastructure projects. We recommend that local bodies and state explore the issuance of municipal bond as a source of finance with suitable support from the union government. The state may allow the larger municipal corporation to directly approach the market, while an intermediary could be set up to assist medium and small municipalities who may not have the capacity to access the market directly. So if you go through these recommendations, it is evident that the 14th Finance Commission was of the strong opinion that, look, now ULB has to play a greater and higher responsibility in the development of India. Therefore, we need to innovate new ideas for the financing, and one was the bond issue. Even they say that if required, central government should support this municipal corporation bond issuance process. Therefore, in 2017 or rather 16, the MoHUA, the central government urban development department, come up with the scheme of giving interest subvention on bond issue by municipal corporation. So it was in line with the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission only. Although today's topic which has been given to me is regarding so many other topics other than bonds also, like public-private partnership, pooled financing, raising fund through urban infrastructure funds, establishment of municipal development fund, implementing a treasury single account, mainline financing and viability gap funding. So friends, what I will do out of all these things, I am of the strong opinion that the need of the hour is municipal bond, to discuss about the municipal bond and their process. Other topics are very small and they can be taken once after we discuss this bond issue. Municipal bond. In 2015, SEBI notified the Securities and Exchange Board of India notified issue and listing of debt securities by Municipal Regulation 2015. That is called ILDA. And in that, SEBI tried to regularize this municipal bond exercise. And after that also, SEBI notified continuous disclosure and compliance to be followed by municipal corporation. In April 2019, RBI permitted the foreign portfolio investors to invest in municipal bond, and subsequently the same was permitted by SEBI in May 2019. It was to attract the foreign portfolio investor into the municipal bond. Before this 2015 also, there is a record of issuance of bond by Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and one more municipal corporation way back in 1997 and 2006, I believe. But we will discuss only about everything about 2015, post this new guidelines issued by the SEBI. In 2019, key amendment has been made by the SEBI. Urban development authorities and other government entities like smart cities was also covered into this issuance exercise. Friends, if you see this slide, around 13 municipal corporations till date has been issued these bonds on the various space of time. It includes Pune, Ghaziabad, Indore, Bhopal, Surat, Lucknow, Ahmedabad, and last is Vadodara. And you will see that the coupon rate received rise from 7.15 to 10.32. It's depend on the time of issuance, what was the global market condition of the finance. But most of these municipal corporation, those who issued the bond first time, got the interest subvention, that is around 2% from the MOA. Therefore, the cost of, although the coupon rate is looking at here the higher side, but if we compensate by way of this interest subvention, then it will be reduced by 2%. So it's really making a cost effective. When we talk about the municipal bonds, the major parties involved is hand-holding consultant or transaction advisors who play an important role in identifying the projects, in assuring whether the ULB is eligible or not eligible, then appointment of rating agencies. So hand-holding consultant is very important. The financial statement of the operations also at the same time, and make them, if possible, make them put efforts to make them visible, because what is my experience is, till date, although the state governments has appointed chartered accountants at the most of the municipal corporations, but still the accounts of ULBs are not up to the mark. They are not showing the exact state of affairs, or they are not showing what is required by the rating agencies, what is required by the investors at large. Because when we are going for the public, we are going for the private placement, or we are going with the rating agencies, we need to have our accounts in such a manner that it is presentable. We need rating agencies, we need debenture trustees, merchant bankers, we need investors, because these bonds are listed on stock exchange. Therefore, stock exchange is also one of the major party. Bankers to the issue, who, because all these are online, therefore bankers are required, depositories are required, registrar and transfer agent, because these are the demat form, all bonds are demat form, therefore we need registrar and transfer agent also. Legal counsels we required, because this bond process is entirely abided by a set of rules by SEBI, therefore we need legal counsel also. Now we come to the major steps involved. Stage 1, we need to understand whether the ULB is eligible for issuance of the bond or not. So as for so far as this SEBI direction is concerned, we look into the constitution of municipal corporation, whether the constitution allow municipal corporation to issue bond or not. Accounts to be prepared in accordance with the National Municipal Accounts Manual or similar municipal account manual adopted by respective state government at least 3 financial years before the preceding financial years. They need to be audited, duly audited, shall not have negative net worth in past 3 immediate preceding 3 years, shall not have default in repayment of debt in last 365 days, and in case of corporate municipal entity like smart city, not more than 90 days. No order or direction of restraint, probation, or debarment by board against the corporate municipal entity or its director is in force, and it should not be the willful defaulter as well. Once you are ensured that your entity, your LB is eligible for bond issue, then you need to understand whether you want to go for the public issue of bond or private placement. Although till date, all these 13 ULBs has come with the private placement only. None of ULB has come up with the public, it came into the public domain. We need to understand that this is the need of the hour, when we should involve public also. If you see, look at the European ULBs or American ULBs, there is a larger participation, deeper participation by the public at large. Normally, each and every individual deciding in USA and European countries, those who are investing into the bonds, their portfolio also have muni bond as an investment. But in India, public is not participating. So my humble request to my professional brothers is to advocate through your good offices. They should opt for this public issue mechanism. It will serve two purposes in my point of view. When your local public participate in public issue of bond, it will enhance the bonding effect between the ULB and the local habitants. They will understand they are also part of the local ULB, and the rate of interest, the coupon rate which till date we are showing is a very attractive rate of interest in comparison to banks, FDs, or any other conventional deposit where the normal public is putting their money. And the way these bonds have been structured, muni bond has been structured properly, escrow mechanism, waterfall mechanism, and sinking fund mechanism. Believe me, these bonds are more or less fully secured. So not 100%, but some of the portfolio, out of some portfolio, we can advise our clients, our friends and relatives to put the money into this muni bond also. So when you are going for the public issue, then you need to appoint a merchant banker who will prepare a document, a memorandum of information, and you need to select one at least exchange that's called designated stock exchange. It may be National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange. Then this stock exchange will give you in principle approval based on the memorandum of information submitted by the merchant banker. Merchant banker will do the due diligence, etc., and thereafter only he will submit this memorandum of information to stock exchange as well as to SEBI. SEBI will put this document for the public in the public domain for the comment, etc., for the particular time. I believe it's for 21 days. Thereafter, you can issue your public issue, and minimum size for the succession for the public is 10,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees each bond, face value of each bond. By this amount is very small, 10,000 is not a big amount. So we can encourage the local inhabitants to come forward to invest into money bond also. You need to create a separate escrow once your issue is over, issue is complete, and it is fully subscribed. 75% of the issue size, if you have received the money, then you can allow the bonds to the applicants. You need to keep that entire amount into escrow mechanism as per memorandum article. The amount, the monitoring agencies, that is bank, public financial institution, or scheduled commercial bank, will monitor the earmarked revenue in the escrow account and register. They will do the tri-party agreement with trustees and bankers, so that the structure which we defined into memorandum of information is a bit across till the life of this bond. There should be not a deviation from whatever we define, we disclose in the memorandum of information. It ensure the credential of the entire bond issue. One more thing I would like to share here, that underwriting is permissible to bring the confidence of public who is investing into the bond. If the public, this issue has been underwritten by underwriting agency, then it will enhance the credential of your organization, of your entity, as well as it will enhance the confidence of public into the entity also. When we talk about the private placement, more or less the process is same, barring that in case of public issue, we can go for the paper advertisement, because we can go to the masses and solicit solicit to advertisement through social media, through roadshow, etc. Whereas in case of private placement, we cannot go, we cannot solicit, solicit or collect from normal public or through advertisement, etc. We need to restrict our requirement of fund through the registered HNIs or portfolio are registered FIs with NSE or with BSE. This memorandum of information will go through these stock exchanges to their registered applicants, and in turn, on the day of opening of this opening of the bond issue, they will put their application into the EBD, economic bidding platform. They will put their code, and this entire transaction will be completed in the closed circle only. That's called the private placement. Till date, all these 13 these bonds has been issued on the private placement only. We now, Indore and Bhopal, are planning to issue bonds in public also, provided other legitimate these regulatory formalities are completed in line with the requirement. For sure, this will create again a milestone in India and promote the participation of public at large into this most important milestone institution of India. Please keep in mind, an issuer proposing to issue debt shall maintain 100% assets cover sufficient to discharge the principal amount at all times for the debt securities issued. The issuer may provide an option to buyback also, but buyback should not be less than the face value. Misstatement in the offer document is prohibited. Creation of security for secured debenture. If we are saying that this is a secured debenture, we need to create a security against this debenture fund. Unsecured debentures either may be backed by a guarantee from state government, central government, or may have structured payment mechanism. Till date, 13 bond issues all are unsecured, but they have been secured by way of structured payment mechanism. When I talk about structured payment mechanism, it means the major revenue account of the corporations has been linked with the escrow account created for the purpose of payment of principal and interest repayment obligation of these bonds. I would like to go into little detail about how this works. Suppose in Indore, we raised a fund of 140 crore through bond, and the period is 10 years. Then what we did, we divide this 140 crore rupees repayment obligation into 120 months. 140 divided by 120. Every month, the required amount towards the repayment obligation being transferred from revenue account of municipal dedicated revenue account, which has been dedicatedly given for the transfer of the fund. The proportionate amounts have been transferred to the sinking fund, so that at the time of repayment of the bond, no bullet payment is required. We have the sufficient sinking fund available with us, and at the same time, the ULB can discharge their obligations towards repayment of bond amount. The same way, the coupon rate is suppose 9% or 9.25%, and the payment is liable to be made at every half year. So what we are doing, whatever the interest obligation is there at the end of the 6 months, we are dividing it again in the 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6. Every month, this 1 by 6 amount is being transferred from that main revenue account to the sinking fund amount, and at the end of the sixth month, we are transferring this to the interest payment account. So, I mean to say that by this structured payment mechanism, every payment has been made over time, because there is no special attention or special effort is required for the ULBs officials to make this payment. No additional funding is required, because it is being done on the regular basis while doing the regular exercise financial obligation completion by the entities. Of course, when you issue the bond, these all are subject to certain compliances. And friends, what my experience with this ULBs, those who come with this bond is, that because of these compliances, first, our accounts got audited on the time basis, because in the compliance, if you see at the compliance calendar, we need to fulfill certain obligation on the time basis. Audited financial result, half yearly basis, annual audited financial result on the annual basis. So payment certificate on the half yearly basis. So when you are subject to so many compliances, you are bound to fulfill this obligation on the time basis, and it is improving the entire ecosystem of corporation. Friends, bond is exercise is not only about raising the fund. Fund might be raised from the other medium also. Those medium may be rather more easier in comparison to bond issue exercise. But most important thing which bond bring along with the money is the compliances, improvement the entire ecosystem of accounting and finance. That is the most important factors which I found in the bond exercise. And when we talk about this bond, you see that the rate of interest, coupon rate, is mainly based on the rating. So here I would like to give some time to the rating exercise also, because rating is the most important exercise in my point of view. We as a professional, we know what is the meaning of rating is. So I needed to describe you the meaning of rating. Rating methodology, when we talk about the rating of ULBs, it's not only about rating of financials. Along with the financials, the rating agencies look at the inter-government fiscal relationship, economic strength of the ULB, operational efficiency of the ULBs, financial strength of the ULB, project pipeline and education track record, quality of reporting, monitoring, documentation, then assessment based level credit quality of ULBs, then how we are structuring the entire bond mechanism, escrow mechanism, sinking fund, interest payment account, whether you are proposing DSRA to ensure timely repayment in case of shortfall while making the interest and principal payment, and creation of cash collateral, repayment assurance or government guarantee if any. When rating agency start their working, they look at the legislative framework of the corporation, discretionary and obligatory services, taxation and other revenue obligation, rising powers of the entity. You should look into the memorandum of article of entity, that what type of power they are having in taking any borrowing from the bankers or bonds. This may be different from state to state, corporation to corporations. They look at how we are receiving the revenue grant, devolution and assignment from the state government, the ULBs, total revenue receipt of the ULBs, rule-based transfer by the state, total transfer by the state, because a lot of central government's grant also route through state government nodal agencies only. So rating agencies look into this entire methodology, how this financial and other aspects works in your city. They look your demographic profile, industrial base, economic diversity and growth, how your city is growing across, size and growth of city population, water coverage, sanitization and cleanliness in the city. I would like to share with you my practical experience while doing this indoor bond. It requires me to discuss number of times about the coverage, water coverage, sanitation coverage, sewage coverage of entire Indore city. At the time, all of a sudden, the state government notified the inclusion of 29 villages into Indore city, and these 29 villages were missing the developmental activities till date. So it's created a lot of problem for us. So friends, I mean to say that rating is not only about balance sheet, it's about entire ecosystem across the ULB. So trend in age profile, income level, literacy level, employment rate, percentage of population living in slums, employment pattern क्या है आपका, type of industries क्या क्या है आपके, कितनी units है, industrial की growth rate क्या है, employment of the city and state government का support क्या है उसके लिए. So it's so many things. I will request our institute officials also to organize a workshop on the rating, especially dedicated to the rating only, because it's such a vast subject and it requires a lot of skill from chartered accountants also. So while we talking about rating, we should understand that it, जैसे हम कोई भी ग्लास को प्रेजेंटेबल करने के बाद में पहले हार्शनिंग करते हैं, उसका एजिंग करते हैं. Same way, this municipal corporation की rating is like a, it's bring once you go through the rating, you come to know that what are the requirements to make a city shown as a growing city of the country. So it not only helps you in raising the fund, it's help you to show yourself and to improve yourself, to show the, to improve in the entire activity across, not only financial, non-financial as well. Like property tax coverage, how many people are paying tax timely, percentage of household covered with the water supply, non-revenue water supplied, extent of treatment of sewage, road length in the city, street light per unit road length. So these are the so many things which been considered by rating agencies, and it enhance your credentials. And after assessment of all these parameters, financial and non-financial, rating agencies give you the AAA, AA, A, BBB, B, BBB, B. So right now, most of the municipal corporation, those have been rated. I think central government and state government in 2016 tried to get it rated, and most of them was BB or rather lesser than BB. So it was not showing the investment grade. But this 13 ULB, those who come with the bonds, most of them has been given as a AA investment grade by the respective rating agencies, and AA is a educated, AA shows high safety, so it increase the confidence among the investors, and the investors start investing into the bonds if they are AA, AAA. Like, one more thing I would like to share with you and raise to my voice to the institute, that rating agencies should also be understand that they should have the different guideline, they should have the different methodology for the municipal corporation. Sometimes what I experienced that while doing this rating exercise, because of non-experience, people, sorry to say that non-experience, but because this area is new, therefore this rating agency should also understand this DNA of ULBs, and there should be a special methodology for the rating exercise by the rating agency as well. Various class of investors are provident funds, superannuation fund, gratuity pension funds, but these has been given, Reserve Bank of India or their regulatory authorities has given the mandate only to invest in AA plus rated bonds by 2 rating agencies. They cannot invest in lesser than AA and by 2 agencies. So again, the central government look into this, that even this bond, mini bond are only A rated, they are investment grade, and this fund should be allowed to invest into this A bond also. It will bring lot of liquidity towards mini bond. Banks, FIs, insurance companies, mutual funds, merchant bankers, traders, and foreign portfolio investors. I would like to mention here that mutual funds, I met number of mutual funds, those who are dealing with investment in debt funds, but their portfolio is right now, their portfolio is not showing much interest in muni bonds. So we need to approach these mutual funds and make them convinced that look, these muni bonds are also equally important debt and very safe and secured debt instrument. Therefore, they should motivate to put their certain percentage of their portfolio towards mutual fund, towards this muni bond as well. It will again bring a lot of liquidity into the market and motivate the ULBs to come with the bond exercise. There are two types of rating by rating agencies. One is issue rating and second is bond rating or issue rating or product rating. So when we talk about the issue rating, it's talk about legal admin framework, social economic profile, etc. So I think this is the we should not discuss more about this issue rating and bond rating. Whichever is less will be applicable to the suppose your issue rating is AA, but your bond rating, product rating is AA minus. Then for all practical purposes, AA minus will be applicable. Not your issue rating will be applicable. I have already discussed about this provident fund. These are only AA rated. They have given the mandate by the government Ministry of Finance. So we need to look into, our institute should also recommend this finance ministry through our good offices that look, we should allow this provident fund and superannuation fund, gratuity fund and pension fund to invest in A-rated fund, A-rated bond also. I would like to mention here about the case study of Indore and Bhopal. Friends, again, I would like to tell you here that it's not about raising the fund only. Believe me, this exercise brings a lot of values into the system. Not only improvement in entire accounting and financial ecosystem of a ULB, but it will bring a lot of brand value to your entire city, entire state. The way the Indore and Bhopal and hopefully other municipal corporations, also those who raise fund through bond, they got the wide publicity across social media, print media. Friends, Nataraj, if possible, can you show this account times, page 16? Next slide. Okay. So, yes. So, if you will see this slide, this is the reporting by Economic Times editorial page. Indore city breaks new fiscal ground. This is the editorial page. Otherwise, which is not otherwise available to anybody. So, in Indore and Bhopal, we got so many appreciation from across capital market, from across other regulatories, agencies, public at large, everyone. So it is creating, it is bond exercise is creating your brand image as well. So this slide shows about municipal bond issued by AMC and BMC. It was way back in 2018. We brought this Indore and Bhopal, and size of the bond was for Indore it was 140 crore and Bhopal 175 crore. Both was for purpose of Amrit projects, and in both the bonds and this Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India gave 2% interest subvention, and because of this 2% interest subvention, our cost to the bond becomes very competitive. So, so far as this bond exercise is concerned, when we talk about bond. At the same time, we talk about the tenure, the comparison with the term loan. Whenever we talk about bond, normally this question raised by authorities that why not term loan? So normally that we can compare this by way of tenure, volatility of interest rate, structure, and indirect benefits. I believe I have discussed most of the point during my past conversation. Volatility of interest, of course, we need to discuss here. Bonds are always on the fixed amount, fixed rate, whatever it is, so that you have the certainty while planning your entire fund arrangement in the entire tenure. Public-private partnership for ULB funding is a very common and very old concept. The projects where we need some sort of use fund as well as some skills required, where there is a lack of skills in the ULBs like roads, bridges, hospitals, they can be completed through private funding. PPP model is a very powerful model across not only ULB but across other entities in the government. They are using this PPP model very effectively. Private parties are coming on the certain incentives from the respective government. They are putting money for a particular period, getting their ROI out of that project, and after certain time limit, say 15 years, 20 or 25 years, whatever the structure permits, they went out of the projects and transferred to the project being transferred to the respective entities. Always where the risk is higher, this PPP model is workable. So if a city ULB wants to develop a slum development, where suppose 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore rupees are required at a one go, in that case, of course, this PPP model can be useful. Suppose metro rail, you need a 5,000 crore rupees, or waste management system where there is a special skill is required. You can give these projects on the PPP model. PPP model is again maybe subsidized by the local state government or central government. If there is any structural issues there, then the same can be looked into. And monitoring agency, of course, plays an important role. It should be looked into that. By entering into PPP, we are not giving the larger benefit to the private parties. Of course, it's a commercial venture. Therefore, private party will take their whatever required return on investment, but it should not be the only focus for them also. One more topic is given to me is pooled financing. If you look at this 14th Finance Commission report, which I mentioned in my earlier slides, 14th Finance Commission also recommend that more than one ULB comes together and can raise the funds through money bond with structured secured mechanism. In Tamil Nadu and some more states in the south, they try to do this, but really it's a fantastic idea. But because these ULBs are run by the political parties also, because there is a mayor in council run by the political parties, so one ULB run by the one party and second ULB run by the second party, then a lot of other cases will be there. So of course, structure to make the structure of repayment and raising this entire thing and monitoring as well is a big challenge. But of course, if you can pull one strong municipal corporation with two weaker municipal corporations, suppose I take the example of Indore. If Indore can take two more ULBs, say Devas and one more city, along with this brand exercise, then of course these ULBs, those are not strong enough, they can be benefited through this exercise. But it's required a lot of restructuring, or these 2, 3, 4 corporation create a SPV also. and that SPV can come up with the bond or can raise the fund through this SPV. Again, it's a matter of structuring and may be liked by investor or may not be liked by the investor much. Establishment of municipal development fund. It can be, a fund can be created by a state government for the development of municipal bodies across the state. The Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, they have developed municipal development fund to cater the need of their respective municipal corporation in the state, and they are doing extremely well. I came to know that they are doing extremely well. So in that case, this municipal development fund will raise the fund on behalf of all the municipal corporation or designated municipal corporation, or for the designated projects required for the corporations. And through this municipal development fund, the entire fund can be flow to the respective ULBs, and a mechanism can be developed to monitor the fund flow both sides while allocation and at the time of repayment also. So it, and sometimes Asian Development Bank or other world-class institution, World Bank also, they enter into a tri-party agreement. So Municipal Development Fund, Municipal Corporation and the Asian Development Bank, they will have a mutual agreement wherein the fund will flow from the Municipal Development Fund, but the basic responsibility will remain with the Municipal Development Fund to monitor the entire activity and allocation of the fund as well as the recovery of the fund and the completion of the respective project as well. So it is again a little bit difficult task, but of course it's also doable. Implementing a treasury single account. I don't know how much relevant it is for the ULBs. It is normally used for the institutions like IIM, IIT or other scientific instruments where there is no much interference from state government is there, and the central government is giving a budgetary allocation to these institutions. So it routes through a particular treasury single account, and whatever amount remains unspent will again transfer to that account. So in my point of view, so far as while we are discussing about this innovative funding, treasury single account is not relevant to be discussed here. Mezzanine financing. Mezzanine financing is nothing but like a debt, combination of debt and equity. In a very plain language, I can define it as a convertible debenture. So it is where the risks are more, or where the investors want to have first particular period on the interest and thereafter wants to shift it to the equity. So it is a combination hybrid model of debt and equity financing. So cost-wise it's a very costly affair. But this is also one of the mechanism wherein this urban local bodies can also use, but it is not yet any guideline is given issued by the SEBI or Government of India. So it's a concept only, not yet implemented by any ULBs, or I never heard talking about this mezzanine financing in case of arrangement by funding requirement by the ULBs. Viability gap funding. So viability gap funding is a very common parameter and which can be used as any financial arrangement. Even in case of bond issue, we are talking about VGF because the 2% interest subvention, it is nothing but a VGF only, because bond exercise required a high rate of interest in comparison to bank interest rate. So what central government is doing, they are providing VGF. 2% interest subvention is nothing but a VGF only. So that this cost on municipal corporation reduced by the particular percentage and make this option comparative. In the projects also, big projects by urban local bodies, central government and other different departments give VGF. The way, especially if you might have heard, solar projects through SECI, municipal corporation has been allotted this VGF. In case of Indore, for their solar project, around 70 crore rupees has been given as a VGF for the 100 megawatt solar project. So VGF is a very common funding arrangement, but of course it is given by either by the state government or by the central government. And VGF funding make the projects viable par with any other options available. And especially VGF is given in the PPP projects and all other infrastructure projects, wastewater treatment, solid waste management. And this is the very common structure by the Ministry of Urban Affairs, Government of India. So thank you very much. This is a little bit what I can share with you out of my experience. And if someone wants to ask some question, I'm ready to, I will try to answer. Yeah.
Sir, we have received few questions from the members. Am I audible, sir?
One minute.
Yeah.
That's all. Yes, tell me.
Sir, like first question is, what is urban local bodies?
What is urban local bodies?
So,
urban local bodies is an entity like municipal corporation or gram panchayat, those who are primarily responsible for taking care of the local needs of the public. So in my second slide only, I mentioned about the ULBs only.
Sir, one more question is there. Kindly brief on municipal bonds if any ULB desires to issue municipal bonds.
Pardon, I am not able to understand. What are you saying?
Kindly brief on municipal bonds if any ULB desires to issue municipal bonds.
So my entire this 1 and 10 minutes lecture was on the most of the time was on this, how one can issue the municipal bond. So any ULB, if want to issue the ULB with this municipal bond, first they need to understand about their eligibility, whether they are eligible for issue the bond or not. Thereafter, they need to understand whether what is the project for that they want to raise the funds. Thereafter, they need to appoint a merchant banker. Merchant banker will issue prepare an information memorandum. Then the same will be submitted to SEBI and respective designated stock exchange. Thereafter, this exercise will complete.
So next is, what is the scope of practicing chartered accountant in urban local bodies, in finance and accounting and on auditing areas?
So there is a lot to do, and I will especially request Kemisha ji to give a focus on this requirement of chartered accountants at grassroots level of municipal corporation. What my experience in last 5 years is that most of the municipal corporations are not being even able to prepare their accounts in the desired manners, or not at par with the requirement of issuance of not only the bond, even for the raising of the banking loan, they are not up to the mark. And one more thing, one more request I will try to make with Kemisha ji, that through institute we should approach all the state governments to suggest for the appointment of chartered accountants in all these municipal corporations at the post of their financial account officer, CFOs, Chief Financial Officer position should be given to chartered accountant at least at all the major corporations. In absence of that, it's become very difficult to prepare the accounts in the desired fashion.
So next is, why not ULBs be made self-sustainable?
Pardon?
Why not ULBs be made self-sustainable?
Yes, this is whatever Modi after 2014, this concept of self-sustainability and longevity has been brought by the government, and the entire focus of government is to make this ULBs is self-sustainable only. Slowly and gradually, all the grants will be diluted and will be reduced to a great extent. All municipal corporations need to develop their own recovery models, and they need to self-sustain even on the basic requirement by the public at large. And there is a potential. Recently, Janagara, a very dedicated NGO working in this arena of urban development, has submitted a document to central government. Our property tax recovery is very less. It is neither designed properly, nor there is a enthusiasm in recovering the property tax. So, if we want to make this ULBs sustainable and more workable, then recovery and designing of the recovery, where again you mentioned the last question, role of chartered accountants. So while designing the system of collecting the revenue, various revenues of state ULBs, chartered accountant can play an important role in designing a mechanism and system by enhancing the capacity of urban local bodies in recovery of their revenues.
Sir, we have got next question. Innovative financing strategies for urban local bodies. What is innovative in taking loan without having repayment capacity? Creation of assets.
Pardon?
Innovative financing strategies for urban local bodies. What is innovative in taking loan without having repayment capacity? In future, what they will do? Raise further funds to pay interest? If is it so, what is innovation?
No, I differ here, and I beg to differ here that the entire exercise, if you listen my entire presentation very carefully, then bond exercise is not about raising money only. It is about raising the bars of all the parameters, including revenue and other ecosystem. So, my friend, it is not about raising money for the day-to-day need of requirement of the ULBs. While we are talking about this loan mechanism or bond mechanism or any other financial mechanism, at the same time we should be careful enough in recovery of the different revenue stream of the corporations. It should not be like that. For the repayment of loan, we will take another loan. It was never thought of, and it should not be thought of. We should create an ecosystem wherein whatever we have structured, if dedicated project is there for the taking the loan or through bond or anything, it should be monitored so closely that it fulfill its all obligation towards interest and principal on the self-sustainable model only. And even the projects, those who are not revenue generating, we should ensure that because of this employment of loan into the system, it will enhance the ecosystem, resulting into enhancing the paying capacity of citizen of the respective ULB, so that their gross revenue, the total revenue increase by leap and bound.
So next question is whether urban local bodies can raise foreign debts. If yes, whether these foreign debts are counted for foreign debts of India.
Pardon, I'm not able to get it. What are you saying?
whether urban local bodies can raise foreign debts? If yes, whether these foreign debts are counted for foreign debts of India?
No, corporations are not allowed to take fund out of Indian territory because Article 292 of Indian Constitution doesn't permit any state body, state government to take fund out of Indian territory. We did try for Indore to issue the Masala one, but unfortunately this clause prohibits us. There is a because municipal corporation is treated as a body of state only. Therefore, it is not permissible as per Reserve Bank of India rules, and Constitution of India doesn't permit local bodies to raise fund out of a country.
So next question is how to get professional work from urban local bodies? How they are awarding professional work?
So, friends, there are a number of activities. Now, ULB is also working like a corporate entity. Their accounts are subject to audit by not only in case of when you are taking loan or raising bond. Otherwise, also most of the urban local bodies are subject to audit and subject to maintenance of accounts as per the prescribed guideline. So, chartered accountants requirement is there, much requirement is there across at the grassroots level of corporation, as well as when they start the exercise of the raising the fund through any of the mode, right? If it is a loan, whether it is a bond or any other mechanism, expertise of chartered accountants is always required.
So we have got one more question. What are the areas of revenue enhancement which can be suggested to urban local bodies?
Pardon?
What are the areas of revenue enhancement which can be suggested to urban local bodies?
Most important is proper recovery. First is identification of properties, taking of the properties, thereafter the calculation of proper taxation on the properties, and then thereafter the recovery of property tax. This is the major areas as suggested by Janagara also. Presently, our recovery on the property tax is very poor. So we need to understand that unless and until the public start paying against the facilities what they are using, it will not be a sustainable model. At the same time, vice versa also, ULB need to show that they are really functioning for the betterment of life of the citizens. So it is a reciprocal arrangement, reciprocal relationship between the citizen and the ULB both. So when ULB shows that they are working solely for the well-being of common people, then common people will also try to pay the taxation most honestly. And we have seen in the number of the corporations where these corporations are doing very good work for the public in turn also paying very good amount of taxation.
So next question is, can urban local bodies take grant assets in fixed asset register?
Pardon?
Can urban local bodies take grant assets in fixed asset register?
Yes, fixed asset register is must, whether it is from grant or whether you are buying it. In my opinion, and also our institute's guideline says that fixed asset register should always have the recording of all the assets, irrespective of what the source of procurement is. We should keep all the assets, numbering and taking of the assets in the asset register.
So next is, what are the areas of, what are the allied areas in case of urban local bodies where a CA can give consultancy?
Yes, whatever we are talking is all about chartered accountant only. Whether it's the preparation of accounts are concerned, day-to-day monitoring of account is concerned, whether it's about preparation of the project report for the municipal corporation is concerned, whether this entire bidding process of banking, structuring of the loan repayment is required, is concerned, bond issuance exercise is concerned, whether it's a VGF is requirement is there, wherever calculation is there, chartered accountant is required.
So next is, who is allowed to do statutory audits of urban local bodies? CA or CAG, or State Government Cooperative Department or State Government Audit Department?
So far as the statutory audit is concerned, as per the state respective state guideline, statutory audit is being done by chartered accountants only. Of course, CNDG is there. CNDG is also doing the audit. So there is a duplicate. There is a dual compliances. One is by CNDG. CNDG is at the later stage. But statutory audit is concerned. So far as the Madhya Pradesh is concerned, our all municipal corporations are audited by chartered accountant. Statutory audits are by chartered accountants only.
So next question is, are the bonds or debt instruments guaranteed by state government or central government?
No, it all depends what is your requirement. For the purpose of enhancement of bond rating and to create confidence into the investor, those who are investing in the bonds, if state guarantee is there, of course it enhance the confidence and it enhance the rating also. But recently, what I observe, state government is reluctant in giving the guarantee, and probably rating of municipal corporation, these states are not up to the mark. If you structure your payment structure in such a mechanism that it doesn't require the support of ULB, will be a better idea. And in most of the cases I've gone through the past issues of bonds, state guarantee is not there. What they have given the comfort only to the escrow support activities. Whatever grant government is giving, they give just a comfort letter that it will continue to go to that particular account so that it maintain the discipline while transferring the fund from that escrow account to the repayment account. Otherwise, else there is no requirement of statutory requirement for state guarantee or central government guarantee.
So next is, what are the areas where cost optimization can be initially suggested to urban local bodies, as this will show result or impact instantaneously?
So although it's not an area where we should look into much, because cost effectiveness at the urban local bodies need to be understood by the local administrative officers only. So far as this discipline, we can only simply suggest that to bring the best possible discipline in the system of awarding contracts to for the developmental activities, as well as proper accounting, payment system mechanism, and wherein chartered accountant play an important role in development of SOPs, standard operating procedure at the ULBs, so that this entire both cost effectiveness will come automatically. By that way, we can help the ULBs to effectively put into this cost effectiveness concept also. You are mute.
Are the urban local bodies getting adequate revenue to sustain the loans? How stable are the escrow mechanism? Will these bonds enhance the cost of civil services to common citizens?
I'm not able to get what you are asking.
I am repeating, sir. Are the urban local bodies getting adequate revenue to sustain the loans? How stable are the escrow mechanism? Will these bonds enhance the cost of civil services to common citizens?
No, it will not enhance the cost of civil citizen. It will not enhance. Rather, it will reduce the cost. Once you start doing the activities in the structured manner, in the based on the SOPs, for sure it will enhance the entire ecosystem of the corporation and resulting into subsequently, and I am eyewitness of so many corporations wherein after this bringing into the discipline by way of these bonds, etc., the cost of funds and cost, especially the discipline in the financial mechanism, has come to the great extent, and it reduced the cost, not it enhanced the cost.
Okay. So next question is, Can any of the plan be helpful for medium urban local bodies like Nagarpalika or Tehsils?
I am not able to get what you are saying.
Can any of the plan be helpful for medium urban local bodies like Nagarpalika or Tehsils?
So in my presentation, I mentioned about this pooled finance. So this concept can be put into when two tehsils or one Nagarpalika, 2-3 Nagarpalika wants to get together and they can raise the fund through bond, or they can create a particular projects for suppose 3 tehsil or 3 urban local bodies, say Nagarpalika wants to create a common facility for across in the area of 20 kilometers or 25 kilometers or 50 kilometers across, and they can come out, they can also plan and structure a project and funding structure so that they can get the benefit across, and we need to ensure the repayment mechanism, how they will distribute this entire allocation of fund, as well as while repayment of this loan or bond or any other medium is there, how they will repay, we need to structure that, but it's doable.
Next is, for the purpose of debt issues, are the accounts treated in mercantile basis or cash basis? Are the debt issues only by ULBs showing surplus?
Yes, we need to understand that no cash system is recognized by our institute. We need to do on the accrual basis only. And
so one last...
for any loan facility or bond facility, it's a question of observation whether it should show the net worth of any entity. If your net worth is negative, then no one can use the loan or we cannot raise the fund.
Next question is, how urban local bodies are financing their deficit?
So deficit is normally whether it's a budgetary deficit or it's the actual deficit. Budgetary deficit will be always there, but actually in actual there will be no deficit. It will be fulfilled by state government or grants by other central or state.
Many Nagarpalikas are unknown of such raising. Should we approach them on our own?
Why not? Institute can also play an important role, wherein they can organize this type of programs and events on the state-to-state basis, where they can invite, at least start with the big corporations or municipalities to make them understand about these innovative ideas. And of course, as a chartered accountant fraternity, we should also approach our local bodies and meet these officials and commissioners or principal secretaries and make them aware about these fundraising activities, so that at least developmental activities, which is not developing in absence of funding, can be initiated.
Thank you very much, sir, for addressing the queries of the members and the wonderful session. On behalf of ICAI, I would like to thank all the viewers of the webinar for making it a successful event. We hope that you all have found the session knowledgeable. If you want to know more about public finance and government accounting, you can join the next batch of certificate course in public finance and government accounting that is commencing from 5th of June. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Geographically, the 7th largest country in the world. One of the oldest civilization. World's 6th largest economy. A global hub for innovation with one of the largest startup ecosystem. India. City of Mumbai on the western coast of Arabian Sea, among the most advanced and modern metropolises in the world, and capital of India. The most prestigious event of the world, first Wharton's from 21st 92 LS. The Olympic of accountancy profession. India hosts the event for the first time in 118 years since the WCOA came into being in 1904. Around 10,000 delegates expected to join virtually. More than 6,000 delegates from over 135 countries would congregate to exchange views at the world's most advanced Geo World Convention Center. The theme, Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability, will inspire the future of accountancy profession to create sustainable economies for the future.
The ICAI is honored to be the host for this mega event, which will bring together the world's largest conglomeration of professional accountants, regulators, leaders, and visionaries to advance the cause of the global accountancy profession. Now, with the ease of travel restrictions across the world and the situation returning to normal, we are working towards creating a never before and a unique experience for all our delegates. The year 2022 marks the 75th year of India's independence, and the Government of India is celebrating the year in a big way to showcase the glorious history of India. World Congress of Accountants 2022 would also be celebrated as a mega event to showcase the important role that the accountancy profession has been playing in the economic and social development of the country.
A never before witnessed unique experience of learning future trends, emerging avenues, enhancing skill sets, networking, and to explore the incredible India awaits you.
We at ICAI are pleased to host you here in Mumbai, the financial capital of India, for the 21st World Congress of Accountants with the theme Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability from November 18 to 21, 2022, and give you a professionally enriching and personally rejuvenating experience. We are hopeful that the conference shall be stimulating and productive, and your stay in India will be a memorable experience. Once again, we invite you for this enthralling convergence in India, the land of multicultural, historical, and spiritual inheritance since centuries.
Insights from the stalwarts of the profession, international and national standard setters, regulators, and trendsetters will constitute the panel of speakers at WCOA 2022. Let your dream get bigger. Come, be a part of this mega celebration. For registration and sponsorship opportunities, contact. Organized by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India under the aegis of IFAC.